Hi everybody, my name is Brett and welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk about a few different apps and processes I used as a trainee to make life a little bit more manageable. In this video, I've divided it up into the following areas. Let's head to the first one. For task management, Notion was the best software for me. It offers a huge range of flexibility and helps me to manage all the different projects I had to as a trainee. Let's check out the different features now. So what I did first was set up a home page where I put a table or a database that I could list my projects in, as you can see on the screen. And then the next thing I did was create a second page where I could host all the different tasks. Now I will show you how these link together in a moment. Essentially, you set up a database for your tasks, and then you can put different properties in this database. So for this example, I mainly kept it to the name of the task, the start and end dates, and the projects. Now you can put whatever you want here, but this was what was helpful for me. Now this is one of the most helpful aspects of Notion for me. So what you can do is you can create a relation to another database. So by making the relation to the projects database, you can link the two things. So as you set your different tasks up, you can relate them to the different projects. This is where Notion gets really helpful, as you can view your table in lots of different views or layouts. So you can click on a new view and then you have different options on the right hand side. So you can view your task by different statuses. So at the moment you can see not started, in progress or done, and this can be quite useful to see where you're at with different types of tasks. Another helpful view that I found was viewing it by project view. So again, you can just click another new view and then sort it by a different property. As you can see, as I'm doing now, you can set up a new project view and label it whatever you like, and then choose from one of the options. So I've gone for the board option, which is really easy to sort of get an overview of your different tasks. And then you can see I'm grouping it by projects. So what we have now is all our tasks, but viewing them by project as opposed to status as we had before. As a trainee, you will take a lot and lot of notes. So you have to be careful which app you are using. So for me, I was looking for a few things such as privacy, ease of use, using across different devices, and also something called bidirectional links, which we will look at in a minute. So here are some of the features of Obsidian that I found really useful while I was a trainee. So in Obsidian, you usually have your note heading at the top, and then you can insert any templates that you have created, which I'll show you how to do in a minute. Now you can insert something called a bidirectional link, which means you can link different notes into your current note. So if it's something like Socratic questioning, but what's nice is if you open the Socratic questioning link, it'll be linked back to the note we're currently writing. It is quite helpful in linking lots of different notes together on a similar subject. So if you want to write about CBT, you can add in some notes about CBT, and then it might open up some other thoughts or notes about that. So if you go into questioning, and then you can see I've got links to different PDFs and different topics. You can then click on CBT and then look at all the different notes you have about CBT. So to create a template in Obsidian, you can go to the sidebar and to the folder where the templates live and click New Note. And then so anything you type in this new note will be a template, with the heading being the name of the template. So for this one, we can insert something from before just to make it a bit quicker. But it's really useful if you find yourself setting up documents over and over again. So in this, I've got what's called a smart note, and it just contains relevant information about the notes I take if I want to find them in the future or if I want to link them to other notes. Also, the nice thing is you can insert the date and the time automatically, as you can see on the screen now. Now we can give it a try in practice. So if you open up a new note and give it a heading, and then you can insert the template below. And as you can see, the time and the date is there, as well as the note title, and then you can write your notes below. So for different meetings I often used a template, which is on the screen now, something I prepared earlier. And what you can do is just call that template in when you have a meeting, just to save time and make sure you work to the same kind of structure. So it's the usual things like to-dos, notes, next meeting date, all that kind of thing. But it just saves you having to write it out all again. So living in this note about CBT, you can see that I've got a few other notes as well. They are the purple underlined text. But at the bottom, you can also see other linked notes where I've mentioned CBT in those as well. So this is a nice way of linking all your knowledge together and can help you keep track of all the different areas that you've written about within a larger subject area, such as CBT. And you can see you can expand them as well at the bottom to see the content. As you'll be spending a lot of time in Obsidian, sometimes it's quite nice just to change how it looks. As you can see on the screen now, you just go to the settings and there's a whole bunch of themes that you can choose from. It can just refresh things a little bit and prevent it from becoming too stale. One thing I love about Obsidian is you can highlight a book in the Kindle app and then have it load into your notes. So if you click on the side and ask it to sync, you'll find that all the highlights from your Kindle books, all the different books, will be automatically in your notes app. So as you can see, if you click on the side, I highlighted something from the happiness trap and about urge surfing, you can see that it's in my notes already, as well as having a location on the bottom right hand side. This means I can copy and paste it into other documents or just use it for when I'm thinking. Now, sometimes I think we can overlook the different tools a computer already has. There are a range of utilities and shortcuts that can make your life quite a bit easier by also speeding up your workflow. So here are a few of mine that I found useful while being a trainee. So on a Mac, you can press the backtick key, and what it will do will zoom in your PDF, which is really helpful when you're on a big screen or if you're trying to scroll through lots of information and quickly zoom in to a specific subsection without losing your place within the document. As you can see on the screen now, it's not always perfect, but it's really helpful for looking at those smaller fonts in PDF journals. Now, I'm not sure about you, but when I've been writing all day and on a computer all day, sometimes I don't always read the words correctly in a sentence. Text-to-speech can help with that. As you can see on the screen, there are no grammatical errors or spelling errors, but as we'll see in a minute, this sentence doesn't read quite as you might think.
We are going to be squeaking to each other about this later, and we wonder whether it is a detergent to others. We hope that the new document will contain all the correct worms this time. Best wishes, Bert.
Sometimes when you've been downloading lots of journals, it can be quite helpful to rename them. And as you can see on the screen, if you highlight them and right click and go to rename, there's a easy systematic way to do this. So you can put information before or after the file name, or you can index it as well. So I think this is useful for when you've just got lots of papers to read. That's definitely what I used to use it for anyway. Another really helpful utility is the clipboard with multiple items. So on Windows this is by default, but on Mac you can download a app. I think it was called Flycut. So you can see if you go through a journal and copy multiple references or sections. These will all be stored to the clipboard, and then what you can do is you can paste them in one go into your notes. In this instance, Obsidian, as you can see now. And it's just really helpful because you can go through a document really quickly, grab all the information you need, and then just put it all in the same document without going back and forth between the two windows. Now, as a busy trainee, does this feel familiar? Now, shared calendars are great, but they often rely on you having the same calendar software as the recipient and whether they are also internal and external colleagues as well. I find it much easier to have a scheduling link, which I will show you now. So if you go to your calendar homepage, this is Google as an example, and then you can head up to the top left corner and click on Create and Appointment Schedule. This will open up a new page and allow you to set your availability as well as the name of the schedule, which means you can have different schedules for different projects or different things in your life. Then you can go through and set up the different availability, as you can see on screen now. Another handy feature is you can also set how many days in advance an appointment can be booked, which is really helpful when you have changeable schedules, and the minimum time between a person booking a appointment and the appointment taking place, which means you won't get any surprise meetings that you weren't expecting. What's also nice is the buffer time, as it can give some space between meetings, as I'm sure we've all been guilty of having back-to-back meetings all day before realizing that we've not had a break. So it can be really useful for that. So when you've saved it, you'll be presented with a screen which has a link to your booking page, and this page is what you will send to people in your network. So it will allow them to book a slot in with you and confirm it. What's also quite helpful if you don't want to send a link each time is you can include it in your email signature, which you can see what I'm doing on the screen right now. And what it means is people can just click at the link at the bottom of your email rather than doing any back and forth at all. Thank you everybody for watching my video, and please let me know if there's any other similar videos you'd like me to make, and I will see you next time.